Can you shut up? Thank you for joining me for lesson 94 and 95 of Sefer Mitzvos. Sorry for the noise in the background. Sorry, I forgot to shut off the dryer. Anyway, so today we're going to be covering the mitzvahs, finishing up the mitzvahs regarding forbidden relationships, and moving on to the mitzvahs regarding forbidden foods. So today, these are the mitzvahs, or right now, these are the mitzvahs that were covered on Shavuot, on the 2 days of Shavuot, and the next class, with God's help, we'll do today, a little bit later, is going to cover the mitzvahs that are for today. All right, so real quick, we'll try to make this fast so it's not very painful. Negative mitzvah 353, and these first two are for lesson 94. Negative mitzvah 353 is that we're not to engage in provocative behavior. This means that that those people who we are forbidden to be with, we shouldn't be kissing them, we shouldn't be embracing, etc. Things that would lead to forbidden relations. And this comes from Leviticus 18:6, which says, "No man shall come near to any of his relatives to uncover their nakedness." So this is the coming near part. Is saying don't even be doing something that might lead to the forbidden behavior. All right, and now we're switching over to forbidden foods. So Leviticus 11:2 gives us positive mitzvah 149, that we are commanded to inspect animals for kosher signs. We're not looking for hechshers. We're looking for the hechshers that Hashem gave to things, signs that they are kosher. So it says, Leviticus 11:2 says, "These are the beasts that you shall eat." And so this is understood to be that we're commanded to know the differences between wild or domesticated animals before consuming them, to ascertain whether or not they possess kosher signs, which would be, for instance, like split hooves, chewing the cud. So that is lesson 94. Now lesson 95. Lesson 95, we have 5 mitzvahs. 3 of them are positive, 2 are negative. Positive mitzvah 150, 151, 152, and then negative mitzvah 172 and 174. This mitzvah, positive mitzvah 150, is that we are to know what the signs are for a kosher bird. It says, "You may eat all clean birds," Deuteronomy 14:11, and the Torah tells us the birds and their families that are not kosher. It doesn't really tell us too much about the specific signs, which is interesting because it does tell us the signs regarding the mammals, and it tells us regarding fish, but it doesn't tell us regarding birds. Rather, it supplies us with the list of forbidden birds. So nevertheless, when studying the group of listed birds, we can isolate common signs that they all share. And for instance, if the animal catches a prey with its claws and eats it, this is like one of the signs that that's not a kosher bird. But there's a lot more than that, and they can be read in the relating section from Mishnah Torah. All right, Leviticus 11:21. You may eat of every flying, creeping, or you may eat of these, excuse me, yet these you may eat of every flying, creeping thing. So mostly, bugs are all off the table. And so we are, though, commanded that if that we should know which grasshoppers are kosher, and it says that they possess jointed legs, leg extensions above their regular legs, and this is kind of uh, a difficult one because only certain groups have a tradition regarding what's a kosher grasshopper. But something that it didn't say in Mishnah Torah, but is a good little thing. Like, what? Why would you even want to eat them? Well, there would often be times where, God forbid, like that a swarm of grasshoppers might come in and eat up all your crops. And then you have the grasshoppers that you can eat. And anyway, so there are certain grasshoppers that can be eaten. There are even some companies that sell kosher grasshoppers, and you can buy them for Passover and whatnot, if you feel so inclined. All right, inspecting fish for kosher signs. These it says Leviticus 11:9. These you shall eat of all that is in the water. So what we have to look for with fish is that they have fins and scales, and the scales are the kind of scales that would come off just by rubbing them off, and they would be easily removed. If they're not easily removed, then they are not the type of scales that we're going to count. Uh, Deuteronomy 14:7 says, "These you shall not eat of those only that chew the cud, or those that only have the cloven hoof." So it's forbidden to eat any mammal that doesn't possess both kosher signs. Um, these are mammals that split hooves and chewing the cud. Um, and so this is before we talked about um, being able to identify them, and now we're learning whether or not we eat them. And Leviticus 11:3 says, "And these you shall detest among the birds; they shall not be eaten." And so this refers to the list that we talked about of the forbidden birds that we are not to partake of. All right. So those are all of the mitzvahs that we have from the last couple days. The next section that, with God's help, we'll talk about today covers 5 negative mitzvahs regarding what we are not to eat. This section in Mishnah Torah is called the laws of forbidden foods, and so that's what we'll be on for a while longer. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day in every way. With God's help, I'll see you a little bit later today for 5 more mitzvahs.